Hey guys, my name is Doug Heimendom. I'm a master level TFT player and today we'll be talking about how to spend your gold in TFT. Pretty much 4 ways to spend your gold in TFT and we'll be covering every one of them. Gold and health are the 2 main resources in the game. Spending on one usually makes you save on the other. Understanding the balance between these 2 makes for a good player. All strategies can get to first place, so let's get into it. In this scenario, it's all about hoarding gold until it gets a bit too dangerous and spending it all on levels and eventually on rolls for those big, legendary and epic units earlier than everyone else. You will notice an opportunity for this strategy when the game gives you an Econ start. This is when the PvE rounds at the beginning of the game give you a lot of gold and or units. If this is paired with an early Econ augment, such as the one Aurelian Soul gives, you know you have a fighting chance to make this work. The goal here is to spend as little as possible, maintaining a lose streak and get to the max interest as fast as you can. I made a video about how to do a proper lose streak, make sure to check that out, the link is in the description. When at max interest, the goal is to level as fast as you can while maintaining that max interest until you reach level 8 and sometimes even level 9. This is where you spend most of your gold by aggressively rolling for high cost units and you'll start to win streak from there. The whole risk factor of this strategy is your health bar. You want to lose as little HP as possible while maintaining your lose streak. Usually in lower elo lobbies, this strategy doesn't get punished that hard. But when you climb the ladder a bit, people will be playing a lot more tempo comps, something we'll be talking about in a bit, and you'll be getting way more damage early on. It's the biggest high risk, high reward strategy out there, but definitely give it a try. In this scenario, you'll be focusing on an early lose streak and using that to get gold early quickly and spending that on a particular 1 or 2 cost unit. Much like the full Econ, we'll get a sign at the PvE rounds by getting a lot of gold and our units. If we want to do a low cost reroll, we need either gold or rerolls from our first augment selection. If you like to play this way, the legend Lee Sin definitely is your jam. Use the gold from your lose streak to get to max interest as fast as possible and don't touch that level button before this and look for the appropriate level to roll on for your chosen unit. For a 1 cost reroll, there are pretty much 2 ways to get there. If you were lucky and already got quite a few copies of your chosen unit, you'll want to roll down a bit at level 4 right after Krogs on stage 3-1. Although, don't go further than 30 gold. If this isn't the case, let the game level you naturally at stage 3-2 and slow roll from there. Slow rolling means that you'll just roll the interest gold above 50 every round. Repeat until the unit is 3-star and level from there. It's important to only buy the units that are going to have value in that comp in the near future. I know it's tempting to also 3-star that random Garen, but that will hurt you in the long run. For a 2 cost reroll, it's pretty much the same. Use that max interest, let you level naturally at stage 3-2, level to level 6 and roll for your 2 cost from there. In this scenario, you'll be focusing on a 3 cost unit to 3-star. It's the most balanced strategy in terms of gold and HP there is, so it tends to end up in most games. Usually, you'll know to go for this strategy when the game gives you a lot of units from a trade with a good 3 cost, something like Invoker Karma or Demacia Garen. If you know early that this is something you'll be going for, early tempo is definitely wise. Rolling for 3 cost happens at level 7, which means there's a long way to go. What you want to do is create a strong board that'll last the early game and try to win streak by picking a damage augment and occasionally rolling for that extra 2-star if you need to. This will give the resources to level 7 as fast as possible while keeping a strong board and maintaining your interest. At level 7, you'll hit a wall for a couple of rounds using your HP as a resource. While other strategies will be getting their 3-star 2 cost or legendaries, you'll be re-rolling for more copies of your chosen 3 cost unit. Slow roll at level 7 until you have somewhere between 6 and 8 copies of the chosen unit, depending on how dire the circumstances are, and all in the next round. As soon as the 3 cost unit is 3-star, you can continue leveling to 8 to finish the T. The last strategy is definitely something you don't see in lower elo lobbies. Full tempo is a risky but fun way to play the game and the ultimate counter against Econ players. What you want to do is fairly simple. You want every round to be as strong as it possibly could. This means picking a trait that's strong in the early game, something like challengers, picking damage augments and leveling aggressively before everyone else just to put in that extra unit. Build any items you get and stomp the opponents. If you like playing this way, the legends Ornn or Draven are extremely fun. Remember, For every unit alive on your board at the end of the fight, you deal extra damage to the player. This means that every inch of power in the early game gives you an advantage in the later stages of the game. Because what happens next is the hard part. You'll probably win streak through stage 2, maybe even 3, and that's when people will be gaining on you. This is where a bit of luck comes in, as you want to use the aggressive leveling to find a strong 2-star 4-cost unit before everyone else. If you succeed in that, you can contest first place in the late game. If this doesn't happen, you'll start losing later in the game. This is where the damage part comes in. The more damage you've been doing, the more chance you have of opponents bleeding out before you do. It's hard to get the first place with this strategy, but top 4 is almost guaranteed if played well. And that's it for this video. Let me know what your favorite strategy is, and make sure to like and subscribe if you like this type of content, and till next.